and Freddie now will dole out big bonuses. I am not making this up. These huge bonuses and packages that were given to Mr. Johnson, Mr. Raines, and many others, which there is clear evidence of, was done by cooking the books. Not a one of them has been held accountable in any way, shape, or form.
He is seriously ticked. Senator John McCain today blasting million-dollar bonuses for executives at Fannie and Freddie and calling for the ouster of the head of the agency that approved of those bonuses. This is Freddie Mac continuing to prove that it is a bad bet. It is in the hole for $4.4 billion in just the third quarter. And it says now that it needs another $6 billion from taxpayers to stay afloat. Our panel now, Liz McDonald, David Webb, David Mercer, and Toby Smith. EMAC, it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, the Thelma and Louise of high finance are driving us off the cliff. To paraphrase Pat Buchanan, look, you do not get bonuses out of losses. Even Wall Street can't pull that off. And, you know, the issue with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the PAYSAR, Ken Feinberg, never had jurisdiction over them. The FHFA, the government regulator, did. And even the IG for the government regulator, the Inspector General, has said they are totally deficient and falling down the job.
And David Mercer, these are essentially government entities now. I mean, we took them over back in 2008. It was Bush that essentially nationalized it. So these guys are government workers, and they're getting million-dollar bonuses.
And you see the chairman of the House Financial Services Committee proposing that those salaries be on scale of government workers, executive or otherwise.
Right.
However, just to put it in perspective, Fannie and Freddie have reduced costs by 40%. Secondly, part of the reasons in offering the bonuses is because they got to compete with getting the talent in there to clean up the mess that was made on Wall Street, but they got to compete with Wall Street analysts and get the kind of talent in there to clean this up.
I've heard that
so that's
argument,
some
David
of what
Webb, but
they
I don't
have.
buy it.
Just
David
for
Webb,
clarification.
I don't buy that. I mean, the fact is, if you were to say to some unemployed banker, I'm going to give you $300,000 a year for this, I think you'd have a few takers.
You'd have a few takers, but on top of that, it's that same talent that's working there, giving out these bonuses, creating these instruments, and then funneling them off on the taxpayer. Let's face it, other people's money. We'll never get any fix in Freddie and Fannie unless we take away other people's money, that being the taxpayer. Then we got to force this change in the structure. No more unqualified loans. There are some people who shouldn't be buying homes. They shouldn't be financed. We need a better merit-based system. We need qualifications.
Well, Toby, what are we going to do with Freddie and Fannie? I mean, they used to be these quasi-government agencies. Now they're even more government. Is there any way to just privatize them or break them up?
Well, David, there is, and it requires, I guess the code word all these days is leadership. It requires us to actually go in, and you can take, because there's a public market for all their securities. You can price them, and you can sell them off today. You'd have to sell them at a discount. People would have to take some haircuts, but we could do that, but it requires leadership. Right now, all those guys who got those bonuses, by the way, David, I looked at a lot of those contracts. Those contracts were made upon employment. They were based on, not on profits, they were based on cost reductions and other pieces. So they just got what they contracted for.
Yeah, but Tubman makes an important point. It's an important point he's making, but we've been breaking contracts right and left. And if we took them into conservatorship, why do we take them over? What was that about? Why did the government take them over if they can't do anything about the pay structure?
Absolutely.
I don't get that.
Absolutely. David Mercer, you got 15 seconds. Go ahead, quick.
Sure. If I just might point out that Fannie and Freddie are still providing liquidity for the market to keep the bottom from falling out and putting other middle-class Americans into foreclosure. Secondly,
we the taxpayer
these
providing
numbers,
liquidity. Fannie and Freddie's the middleman.
When you compare these numbers to the trillions of dollars that went to Wall Street in the subprime housing market and the bailout of that, it is no comparison.
This is
not lending to
directly from the taxpayer to Freddie and Fannie, and they do not deserve million-dollar bonuses. I defy
money went over
anybody to try to justify that. We got to leave it. We'll see more of the panel coming up. College students drowning in debt. So how about making higher education free? Totally free. Going the distance. Our panelists are back to put their minds to that question coming next.
Download the free app for the iPad, the iPhone, and Android. Stay connected with the Fox Business Network.
If you've been watching the devastating declines in the financial markets and the economy in general and wondered where you could find a safe haven for your hard-earned wealth, look no further than Monaco Rare Coins and these beautiful 1-ounce gold American Eagle bullion coins. That's right. Rather than losing value like many other investments, these American Eagles have not only maintained their value, but actually increased in value every year for the past 10 years. And now, these gorgeous and certified early release gold American Eagles are available to those who can appreciate the quality of the most exquisite gold coins in the world at very low, very competitive prices. Call Monaco today to lock in your price and order for these certified early release gold American Eagles. There's no order limit, and we offer special investor pricing for larger purchases. Call Monaco today at 800-663-1929 for details. That's 1-800-663-1929. Own a piece of history. Call Monaco now.
Is your PC causing major headaches? Now there's an easy way to make your computer run like new again. Introducing System Mechanic, America's #1 PC performance software. System Mechanic scans your entire PC for over 200 different types of errors. It then automatically fixes even the most stubborn and frustrating PC problems, restoring full speed and stability in minutes. Visit runlikenew.com to try it free.
20 pages. Boom! The other Office devices, they don't get me. They're all like, hey brother, doesn't it bother you that no one notices you? And I'm like, doesn't it bother you? You're not reliable? And they say, shut up. And I'm like, you shut up. In business, it's all about reliability. Because these guys aren't just hitting print, they're hitting dream. So that's what I do. I print dreams, baby. Big dreams.
Enjoy a larger-than-life golf experience. Visit golfinscottsdale.com and plan your trip to the world's finest golf destination.
You value your friends. So does DirecTV. Meg's worth 100. So are Mike, Carol, Bob, Jim, and Kay. For every friend you refer to DirecTV, you get $100 in bill credits, and they get $100 in bill credits on top of our best offer. Just give your account number to your friends and have them call 1-877-4-100 each. They must have your account number when they order. Refer up to 10 people and get $1,000 in bill credits. Then celebrate and watch the Benjamins stack up.
A new report out today finding the average debt of college seniors who graduated last year with student loans was $25,500. That's up 5% from the year before. Now, last week, the president took a step to eliminate student loan debt over the course of many years on the government's dime, your dime. Will this push the cause for an outright bailout? 100%. Let's bring back our panel. And Toby, we start with you.
No, it's not, David, but I'll tell you what it is going to do. We have this disconnect where the more money that the federal government loans into these programs, the higher tuition rates go. So they're locked at the hip. Somewhere that's got to disconnect. And I think where we're going to is some type of payback system that is based on your salary, on your revenues post-college, and it's a much longer deal because otherwise we're not going to be able to afford it and the colleges are going to go broke.
David Mercer, is there a whole new entitlement, free college education out there just waiting to come on the political stage?
Unequivocally, absolutely not. This is not a matter of, the Obama proposal is not a matter of forgiving loans. It is organizing or reorganizing the terms by which, if we can renegotiate the terms by which we do business with Wall Street, we can certainly do it for the students seeking a higher education. And it is certain, whether it is lowering the cap on from 15 to 10% of income that they earn after coming out of school, or reducing the term from 25 to 20 years. Right. You know, those are things that are helping them to manage their debt more effectively,
but David Webb,
but
some
to
people
pay
would
their
call
debt.
that a partial bailout.
It is
not a bailout. They're not getting direct funds like Wall Street did.
Go ahead, David.
Here's what happens. It costs the government a couple of percentage points to issue the loan. Then they take it back at about 6.18, the current rate. It's a cash flow for the bureaucracy. That's what Sally Mae is on the federal loans. I got a better model for you. Take a percentage.
David,
let me finish.
Hold on, David Mercer. Go ahead, David.
Take about a 2-year average of bond and treasury, add 1%. That's the interest rate made on your annual income, and that's our payback.
I don't want to get caught too much in the weeds, but EMAC, the president says his plan won't cost taxpayers a dime. I've heard that before.
It costs us everything.
Do you believe it?
Baloney, because you know why? It doesn't get on the root problem, and that is we have government subsidies that allow fat cat academics to behave like, mini-me Donald Trumps, blowing out their college campuses with no regard for students. That's where the tuition gouging comes in, because they're building NFL-style football stadiums, gyms that look like Equinox gyms, and restaurant-style cafeterias. It's at that level, that's where the problems begin because of government backing.
Last word from Elizabeth McDonald, who knows these figures like the back of her hand. Coming up, the collapse of John Corzine's firm is another reason why we need to beware of politicians who tell us do as I say, not as I do. The final score is next.